Let's take a fresh new look at building Excel forms. Did you know that it's possible to create Excel forms that can be securely submitted over the internet for data capture? When most people think about Excel forms, they think about somebody filling out the form or filling out the data, saving it, attaching it to an email, and then emailing it to somebody. There's two problems with this. First, doing this is insecure because email is inherently insecure. And second, the data doesn't get automatically transmitted into another database like Excel, Microsoft Access, or SharePoint. To solve these problems, we've come up with a new way. What I'm going to do here is show you how to create labels on your Excel form for each field. That's if you want them, of course. Second of all, how to set a name for each field that you'd like to capture out of the Excel form when you submit it. And then finally, how to inject some code into the Excel form in the form of a button that will make it so that when somebody fills out your form and hits submit, the form transmits just like an HTML form online. Let's start by creating a simple contact form. First thing we need to do is have some labels on the form that identify what the fields are going to be for visual purposes. Now, just to save time, I've gone in and I've already typed in a few labels. So you just type in first name, last name, cities, state, zip, etc. Now, these are just going to be text input fields. We do have the capability to do other type of fields, but for now I'm just going to show text for simplicity's sake. Next thing you need to do is we need to identify what the name of the fields are going to be when the field data is eventually collected or captured back into another database. So what I've done is I've gone in here where somebody would type in the first name field, and then I've clicked up here in the named range box and I've typed in first name. Then I've come in for the last name field and I've typed in last name. And I've done the same for city, state. Oh, I haven't done zip, so let me put in zip. So I'll come in here, type in what I want to call the named range. The next step is we want to inject a submit button into the form so that when this form is submitted, the data can be transmitted. To do this, we use the FormWriter Excel Tools Installer. This is a small program that runs on your desktop, and basically what you do is you enter in the name of your account, and then you actually enter in the name of the end database table that you'd like to write to. Now, if we're writing to Excel, it's basically going to name the Excel spreadsheet, whatever you put in here. And then you select your Excel file, which is your form, and click Install Now. Now, I've already run this, so if I come over here, back to my Excel form, I have a Submit button, which I can take and I can drag and drop anywhere I'd like onto my Excel file. So just to do a quick recap, basically what we've done is put some labels on our Excel spreadsheet. Now you can have anything else on your Excel spreadsheet that you want, calculations, all that stuff. I've gone in and taken the areas or the cells where I'd like those to be the live fields that people fill out, and I've given them a named range name. I've added those in. And then I've injected the submit button with the code and configured it when I injected it so that I know which spreadsheet or database that this is going to write to when I finally route this data and collect it. All there is to do now is to give it a test. So let me fill this out. That was some quick typing. And once it's filled out, I will take and I'll hit the submit button. Oh, it's telling me that the Excel file must be saved before submitting. Now, the reason that popped up is because I'm not just submitting the data, I'm actually submitting an entire copy of the Excel file. As you can see, the form's submitted, and what it does is it invokes your web browser to pop up with a thank you page, so you know that the data has been transmitted. The last step is to actually capture your data. To do that, we use the little FormWriter client tool. This tool installs in your desktop. And what you do is you point it at your FormWriter account, and then you point it where you'd like the data to write to. Because we're writing to Excel, I just pointed it to this folder right here in the desktop. I'll simply hit run. What it will do is reach out and download that one record that was submitted. If you had hundreds of submissions or thousands, it would actually count this number up for you. And now that it's collected that data, I can go in here into my folder, and you can see that the tool automatically created a test Excel spreadsheet, and it also brought in the entire Excel spreadsheet, which is stored externally. If I double click and open up my spreadsheet, you can see that it's created the column names directly from my form, and then it has a link right here to the entire form that was submitted. So these column names were taken directly from the named fields that we had set up in the form, okay? And if I click here, what it will do is actually open up the Excel form that was transmitted. This is very cool because sometimes it's nice not to just get the data to work with. It's nice to get the entire spreadsheet with all the other fields and calculations that you may have inside of it. Just to do a recap, we took our Excel spreadsheet and we put some labels and we identified the input areas where we would like data typed in to our Excel spreadsheet. Then we injected the Excel spreadsheet with a submit button and told it that we'd like it to transmit to our FormRouter account. Then after we submitted the Excel spreadsheet, we ran the little client tool, which wrote directly into Excel itself. Now this can write to other databases like Access, SQL Server, and SharePoint, but for now we pointed it at Excel and collected the data there. In addition, we collected a copy of the entire Excel spreadsheet along with the data. If you'd like some help with your Excel forms, or you'd like to try this tool out, please reach out to us at formrouter.com. We've been in business for over 20 years. We've helped thousands of organizations, and I'm sure that we can help you. Take care.